Thinking about starting an LLC in Austin, but overwhelmed by where to begin? Well, you're not alone. Many new business owners, they mess up early steps and lose time, money, and peace of mind. So in this video, you'll get a clear step-by-step guide to forming your LLC in Austin the right way without all the headaches. And stick around because the single biggest mistake that most people make happens right after filing, and I'll reveal what that is in just a bit here. But first, let's understand if Austin really is a good place for your LLC in the first place. So Austin isn't just famous for its music and food. It's really crushing it as one of the top cities in the US to launch a business, with over 7,000 new businesses opening in the last year and a thriving $89 billion startup ecosystem. In fact, around 13% of households here have self-employment income, and big tech has set up shop, creating serious opportunities for newcomers. Plus, Texas has no state income tax, so more of your hard-earned dollars stay with your business. And if you want momentum and a supportive community, Austin's really the place to grow something real. So ready to pick your business name? Well, let's talk about what to watch for, because naming can easily trip people up, and it does all the time. But before we jump in too deep here, here's one quick thing to keep in mind. So starting your business, it should be exciting, not overwhelming. But forming an LLC on your own, that can get confusing fast with all the legal forms, rules, and easy to miss details. Now, I'll walk you through everything in this video, but if any part of this feels confusing, I've got a favorite LLC formation service that makes the whole process super simple and stress-free. It's guided, it's beginner-friendly, and it only costs $39. So if you hit any bumps along the way in this video, go ahead and click right up here to get step-by-step help setting up your LLC the easy way. All right, so let's get back to naming your LLC here. So this step, it might sound simple, but Texas has some rules that trip people up if they're not careful. So your business name must be unique and not deceptively similar to anything that's already on file with the Secretary of State. Just adding a dash or tweaking the spelling, it isn't enough, right? They'll still reject it if it's likely to confuse customers or compete with an existing name. Now, every LLC name in Texas must include limited liability company, LLC, LLC, or a similar abbreviation so that everyone knows that you're an official business. And certain words like bank, insurance, or anything that's implying a government agency, they are off limits as well, unless you have special approval. You always want to search for your idea on the Texas Secretary of State's website before getting too attached. Otherwise, you might wind up back at square one. And by the way, you can find a link for that below, along with links to every other resource that we mentioned in this video. Okay, so the next step here is I will break down how to pick a registered agent and why so many first-timers get this part wrong. So now that you've got your name sorted out, right, the next step is appointing a registered agent for your Austin LLC. Every Texas LLC is required to have a registered agent, which is a person or company that receives important legal documents like lawsuits, tax forms, and government notices on your behalf. Now, you can be your own registered agent if you live in Texas and have a physical address during business hours. But here's the catch to it. Your registered agent's address, it becomes public, which means that it could lead to junk mail or privacy concerns. Plus, if you travel or forget to check your mail regularly, you might miss something important. And you can also pass it off to a loved one or a friend, but same problems exist. That's why so many LLC owners prefer professional registered agent services. Now, personally, my preferred provider is Northwest Registered Agent. They're known for their strong privacy protections, their excellent customer support, and straightforward pricing. Plus, I've used them myself. Now, if you hire them to help form your LLC, the cost is only $39, which is lower than a lot of competitors. And get this, you can use their business address on your public filings, keeping your home address private and cutting down on spam mail. Now, if you want to check them out, just go ahead and click right up here to learn more about them. But up next, let's dive into the paperwork, which is filing your certificate of formation and officially creating your Austin LLC. So once you've picked your business name and you got your appointed registered agent, right? It's time to make your LLC official by filing the certificate of formation with the Texas Secretary of State. Think of this form as your LLC's birth certificate, right? It legally creates your company in Texas. You'll need to include basic info like your LLC's name, the registered agent's name and address, the business purpose, which is a simple phrase like any lawful business works, and then whether the LLC is managed by members or managers. And you also have to add the name and address of the LLC organizer, which is the person that's filing the form. Filing can be done online through the Texas SOS website or by mail. So the fee is $300 if you file by mail and about $310 online due to credit card processing charges. And once approved, usually within 1 to 2 weeks, your LLC will officially exist in the state. So next here, we'll talk about why creating an operating agreement, while not required in Texas, is a step that you don't want to skip because it really does keep your business organized and protects you down the line. So again, although Texas doesn't legally require LLCs to have an operating agreement, skipping this step, it isn't smart. It's really your playbook for how profits are split, who's in charge, and how you'll handle disputes or big decisions down the road. Even if it's just you running the show in your own business, banks and future partners, they often expect one, and it helps establish your business as legit. And the good news here is that you don't need a lawyer necessarily. You can just grab a free template online or use an AI platform to build a custom agreement for your LLC. You want to fill in the details about your ownership, your management style, so member managed or manager managed, and how new members can join and what happens when people leave, etc. After everyone signs it, keep it in your files. You don't need to file it with the state, but you do want to keep a copy of that for sure. So next up, let's talk about getting an EIN, which is your LLC's key to taxes and banking. So getting an EIN, which is short for Employer Identification Number, is a must for nearly every LLC in Austin. It's like a social security number for your business, and it's required for opening a business bank account, hiring employees, and filing federal and state taxes. The IRS makes the process super easy, actually, and it's completely free to do online. You can usually complete the application in about 15 minutes, and you get your EIN instantly. Just make sure that your LLC is officially formed before you apply, otherwise you'll have to redo the paperwork later. And if you want to avoid hiccups like delays or IRS errors, just double check every detail before hitting submit. And once you have your EIN in hand, your LLC is ready for business banking, payroll, and more. Now, coming up here, I'll explain Austin's local licenses and the taxes that you need to know about as well. Keeping your LLC legit in Austin means more than just filing with the state, right? You need to stay on top of local permits, licenses, and ongoing compliance. Now, unlike some places, Texas doesn't require a general state business license. But here's the catch to that. Most cities, including Austin, have their own requirements based on what your business does and where you're located. So in Austin, you might need a business operating permit, a certificate of occupancy, or a home occupation permit if you're running things from your house. Food trucks, daycares, hair salons, and other specialized businesses must also get health, fire, or industry-specific licenses first. And if you sell products, you'll need a state sales tax permit, which is free from the Texas Comptroller's office. Certain professions like contractors, real estate agents, or massage therapists, they require state occupational licenses as well. And don't forget to file an annual property tax rendition, which is listing business equipment to the appraisal district, and renew your licenses to avoid penalties. Bottom line, getting all the right permits and licenses for your Austin LLC, it is a must, and those requirements vary for each business. But the good news is that the city of Austin and the state itself has guides which spell out exactly what you need to stay in compliance. Again, links below for that. Now, next, I'll break down your startup and ongoing costs for your Austin LLC. Okay, so let's start with the initial cost for the first year. So your Texas Certificate of Formation, $300 required state filing fee to officially form your LLC. Next, we have the registered agent service, which is optional but highly recommended. It is $39 if you use Northwest Registered Agent for the actual formation of your business. They'll help you with that. And then they give you 1 year of registered agent service for free. Then we have a business name reservation. It's optional, $40 if you want to reserve your LLC name for 120 days if you need more time before filing all the paperwork that you'll have to do. We also have local permits and licenses. This varies and it's required for some businesses. Fees here really depend on industry and location, usually $50 to $300 for the first year. Also, I need to mention certified copies or the certificate of status. That's $15 each. These are optional, but sometimes these are required by banks or other agencies. So your estimated first year total, generally you can expect between about $350 to $800 for the first year, again, depending on some licenses and permits and stuff like that. But that's usually the range that they fall in between. So next is the ongoing annual cost. So your registered agent service renewal, Northwest Registered Agent, that is $125 per year to help you stay in compliance. Then we have business licenses and permit renewals, right? That varies, but typically around $50 to $300 per year, depending on your business and your industry. So the estimated annual total, most Austin LLCs will spend between $100 to $600 per year in required and recommended services, mainly for registered agents and local license renewals as well. Now, again, to help with this, I do advise you to use a service like Northwest Registered Agent, which you can click right up here to check out, as they'll really help you stay in compliance year after year while you focus on the most important thing, which is running a profitable business. Now, if you have any questions for me or you're a little bit confused about the process, no problem at all. Just drop me a comment below and I will do my absolute best to help you out as soon as possible. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.